What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. It is Wednesday night. NFL kicks off in a week and a day. 8 days until the NFL kickoff. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. Not ready to go yet, though. So still have some drafting to do. And that's why we're here. Let's pretty much jump right into this. I don't really want to lollygag too much. We gotta power draft our way for the rest of the draft season. Hartman's in here. What's up, man? Appreciate you popping over. Pulling up Underdog. The weeklies are out. Primetime Palooza, the Primetime Bash. I shouldn't say weekly, like the single game. 2 games, actually, is what we got here. So what is that? Oh, Thursday and Friday. Okay. The Thursday and Friday games. Cool. I don't think I'll play any of that. I'll probably do some DFS, but not Underdog stuff. No drafting. The Pointer's still open. Puppy 4 I'm not going to do. I just do not have the time. The Mastiff I'm not doing. The Golden I'm not even going to bother. The Golden 2, I did the Golden 1, but I'm not going to bother with that if I'm being honest. And then Sprints is something I'm trying to get in as many as I can. I'm into 24 right now. I'd like to get, I don't even know. I'll admit as many as I can, kind of a situation. But the Pointer I'm going to max. I've done 4. I have 3 left. But we're here to draft Best Ball Mania. 20-second clock. This is my 125th draft. If you want to get in, we're waiting on 1. It's full. Hartman's in here. Steven Hines, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through. A little bit of EV we might get ourselves here. Super badgeless. Super badgeless, which is kind of what it is right now. We got the 1-2. I've been seeing Chase drop to the 1-2, 1-3. I don't know if that's going to happen here. I hope it does. Let's pull up our exposures. We're evening out our exposures until draft season. It's a clean one. We're 7.3% Jamar Chase. That feels pretty good, right? To be like right at the field, basically. That feels pretty good. I'd like to get that, as high as possible. Obviously, look behind me, big Bengals fan over here. So I would like to get my Jamar Chase exposure as high as possible. And again, I've been seeing him fall. I've been seeing him fall to the 1-2, 1-3 even. Not when I'm either of those positions. So here, this guy will probably take Chase, I'd imagine. And then I don't know what I want to do. I'm really wondering what the Falcons are going to do at right tackle with the Caleb McGarry injury. I don't know what they're going to do. It's pretty concerning, if I'm being honest. It seems like they've just done nothing. So I think I'm going to lean into CeeDee Lamb here. It's Lamb or Gibbs. Let's do CeeDee Lamb. I think I'm just going to lean in on him being my guy. 16%, double the field sort of thing. I'm going to lean in on that and just continue to lean in on that until, I don't know, I get to 20. There's going to be a point where I stop clicking CeeDee Lamb, but it's not yet. Again, my big concern with Bijan, I'm still like almost 10%, 9.7 or whatever it was percent there of Bijan Robinson, but they just have done nothing so far. Putt Daddy's in here. Appreciate you popping over. Caleb McGarry's hurt. Obviously, he's going to miss the entire season. That hurts a lot. I mean, there's obviously a lot of, available players, period, right now after cutdown day. Kendall Lamb would have been someone worth taking a look at if I were the Falcons there. He went to the Dolphins, which is a good get for them. I don't know. There's trades out there potentially, but it's just a little sketchy with the Bijan thing with McGarry, and they have they made that trade for whoever that was. I don't even remember who it was. They made a trade for an offensive lineman, which is pretty mediocre, and that's certainly not the answer. And like CeeDee Lamb has just been my guy. He's been my 1-2 for a lot of the draft season, including into the big board. So fuck it, man. I'm just going to lean in on and just continue to draft different combinations of CeeDee Lamb. Is kind of just what I'm going to do. Hartman says there's no good reason to stop clicking Lamb. Exactly. So I haven't stopped clicking him. I won't stop clicking him. I mean, I guess again, if I get up to like 20% CeeDee Lamb, which is that a bad thing? I don't think it is. I mean, that can't be a bad thing, right? So I guess I'll just keep clicking them and getting different combinations. Like I only have CeeDee Lamb with Jonathan Taylor basically once. So that would be a pretty easy click. Did anything crazy happen? Not really. So that'd be a pretty easy click right there. Obviously, Chase Brown would be super easy. T. Higgins, I have no combinations of CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins. I guess that should be something that I look at. I do have him with Burrow a couple times. I mean, I think I might as well, but I am going to lean in on this Jonathan Taylor thing. If CeeDee Lamb's still there at 26, I'll take him. Let's go Jonathan Taylor here. I did my exposure did slip on JT for a bit. He's down to 8%, which I don't really know why or how that happened. Yes, I'm massively high on DJ Giddens as an RB2 handcuff option, but there's really no reason to not be clicking Jonathan Taylor. So let's try to get that back up. It's a little bit of a discount, I guess. Get a relatively unique combination, somewhat. It would have been T. Higgins there. Hampton makes a lot of sense. Let's do Omarion Hampton. Pairs up with CeeDee Lamb. I only have him a couple times. I don't have JT and Hampton paired up. Bring back in week 16 for CeeDee Lamb. I like that. And that's what we do. Let's get rid of this. McBride goes early. Bowers goes early. Genty Bowers. That might be the first time I've actually seen Genty Bowers go together. And then what do you do? Like stack up the Giants, I guess? I don't know. A lot of badgeless in here, so this could get a little off the rails. For sure. For sure, for sure. Where are we in the chat here? Jeez. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller. What? Can't stop, won't stop drafting CeeDee Lamb. That's right. Take Rice next. Won't be taking him next, but he's on the board for me as pick 50. Let's talk about that in a second. We'll get caught up. We'll talk about the Rashee Rice. We're all going to lose anyways. At least lose the guys you believe in. Fair enough. Fair enough. Rice next, not next. We'll see. Have a CD, JT, Hampton, BBM team. I like that team. Oh, well, so do I. I have that too. So we'll see how it shakes out. Having Lamb with Burrow, but not Higgins is crazy. Says you, man. Says you, Hartman. Let's talk about Rashee Rice. Let's talk about that. First and foremost, earlier today when the news came out that they were like negotiating something with the league, I kind of lost my shit a little bit, tweeted out like, this is fucking outrageous. I'm really sick of hearing about this shit. And I was, and I kind of still am sick of hearing about it, not having a resolution, not knowing what's happening, not knowing where it's going. Let's just get this done and over with. It's been over a year since this happened. And now we do. And then literally like 20 minutes later, after me just losing my mind in a tweet, it's settled. First 6 games of the season. Okay. At least we know. That's good. Like, that's all we wanted. Just to know what the suspension is. And let's lock it in. Let's fucking move on and quit talking about it. I'm sick of talking about fucking Rashee Rice and this suspension. I'm really sick of it, and I'm glad it's done. Super, super, super glad it's done. I'm sick of talking about it. So that's good to know. Now we know. First 6 games. Cool. Now we can move on and we can see where he lands. I'm happy that I do have a few more drafts. I have 25 more Best Ball Mania drafts to do. So if I want to get a little bit more exposure, I can. I think I'm like 2% or one point something percent. So like 2 or 3 clicks of Rashee Rice. So I can get a couple more clicks if I want. And I do now that I know what the suspension is. But we're almost on the clock. Let's focus on this. He is going to be on my list with my next pick at 50. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Jameson Williams would have been a pretty easy, quick click right there. Breece Hall could actually be really fun. I'm going to do that. Let's do Breece Hall. What am I? Rashee Rice, 1.6%. I drafted him twice. And one of them was super early in Best Ball Mania. Super, super early. I got a double stack with Worthy, Rice, and Mahomes. I know that. I don't have Rice paired up with any of the guys on this roster. Calvin Ridley's not a bad click. Let's do Rashee Rice here. Probably not the team to do it on, actually. Ay. And I did it. Try to sneak in Waddle there. Probably not the team to do it on, but I'm going to have to try to make sure I only get 2 quarterbacks. And I would like to only get 2 tight ends, but I'm on the table for 5 running backs maximum. So that's easy. I'm going to gain a spot there. 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, and then I'm in fine shape to draft 8 wide receivers. Lamb's obviously going to help with this, but 6 weeks is a long time. And then he's got a bye week in there. Was drafting Rashee Rice as if he was going to get a 4 to 6 game suspension, as that was widely the expectation. Happy to selectively take him in the 50s. Won't take him anymore. Have enough. Fair enough. The real problem was the timeline of the suspension. When is he going to get suspended? Is it after 4 games, for 6 games? If he got suspended in week 5 for 6 games, he would have been undraftable for me. Undraftable. And he was, when that was the storyline. He was completely undraftable for me. Now that we know he's going to miss the first 6 games, we'll get him for 7, 8, 9. And then the playoff push, I can draft him again. But it's just really, really annoying how this took a year and a fucking half to figure out. I have so many dead eliminators now. Yeah, I'd imagine a bunch of people do. I wasn't taking any risk on Rashee Rice and eliminators. I only did like 30 or something like that. So that's all right. Aaron Sandy's in here. Yiggity-o, what's up, man? Appreciate you. I have a BBM where I took Rashee Rice as my 5th wide receiver, selectively drafting him. Yeah. That's probably pretty easy. And you probably could have had either a running back or a, elite tight end or elite quarterback in there as well. I would imagine you went 4 wide receivers in the first 5 rounds and then took Rashee Rice in the 6th would be my assumption there, which is fine. That's a good way to do it. Obviously, the way I'm doing it here is probably not the way to be drafting Rashee Rice, but again, I can throw some volume at this wide receiver room. So we'll see how that kind of shakes out. Burrow goes to the Chase Brown drafter. All right. I'm going to not take Pacheco. Oh, man. I'm going to do it, but this is so risky. I'm going to take Jordan Addison. Addison and Rice on the same team, but I have CeeDee Lamb. So the hope is that CeeDee Lamb can really do enough to carry this team at least until week 4 when Addison's missing 3 games. My super strong running back room hopefully can get me, cover my flex, obviously. Swift and Pacheco go. I'm going to go with Hawkinson over Laporta. I'm going to pull him up. This is an odd team. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure what to do here. Maybe I should have taken Patrick Mahomes there. But I think I'm all right. I kind of like this. Whoops, don't want that. We want the draft board. There we go. This is a sketchy team a little bit. It's kind of sketchy, but we're gonna land this plane, I feel like. 5 wide receivers first 6. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Same. 5 wide receivers in the first 6, and then you took like probably my guess would be running back, I guess. Either running back or obviously running back or quarterback or tight end. Those are the only other positions, in this game. So it's obviously one of those, but my guess would be running back, I suppose. Elite quarterback would be really nice in that type of a build, though. But that feels good with the Rashee Rice situation. This is an oddball. This is oddball, man. Rashee Rice and Addison. That should be pretty unique, just that combination of those two players, because people are going to be avoiding that for sure. I just really need these 3 running backs to be able to kind of carry my 2 running back spots and my flex spot. And then obviously CeeDee Lamb, does a lot of heavy lifting in the wide receiver room. So I think it can work with a somewhat elite tight end in Hawkinson. I think it can work. It's just sketchy. It's definitely sketchy. Is Thielen still a good early season pick, opening with Addison's suspension, but new team so close to the season? I think it's fine. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I would pick Thielen. Absolutely. Obviously, like at ADP. I don't think he should rise really, realistically, maybe a little bit. And it depends on the tournament. In that like first quarter tournament, I think he's a great pick, especially at ADP. I think that's a great spot to take him, or a great tournament to take him in. But yeah, season long, I do think he's fine as well there. I think that's your wide receiver 3, regardless. Like Naylor's dead, Ty Felton's dead as far as wide receivers are concerned on that team. And then it's, Addison, JJ, and Thielen. So I think he's a fine click at ADP for sure. Yeah, new team. I never draft Rashid Shaheed, so not on this team. I'm never drafting Rashid Shaheed. London, Chase Brown, Harrison Jr., Garrett Williams, Zay Flowers, Rashee, 3663. Fair enough. Geez. Let's jump back over here. This doesn't feel good. I'm going to go Bo Nix. Let's go Bo Nix, who I really haven't drafted very much at all, just because I don't love the playoff schedule. I really don't. Really don't like the playoff schedule. But that's what we're going to do. This guy probably would have went Bo Nix with Cortland Sutton, but I scoop him on him. Let's bring in Evan Ingram to pair up with our Bo Nix and Rashee Rice. We're done at tight end. That feels really good. That opens some things up for us. We're going to go 5 running backs, 2 tight ends, maybe 3 quarterbacks. We'll see. But we have some open doors, which I kind of like. It's a different build, that's for sure. You could backstack with Troy Franklin. Looks like he'll be involved heavily and is still low in ADP. I love Franklin right now as a click. Absolutely. He'll definitely be, on my list 100%. So will Pat Bryant. Both of them are on my list of guys worth drafting late in drafts. So, yeah. Both of those guys will be on the menu late, especially because I need wide receivers, obviously. So, yeah, I agree 100% with your Rice take. NFL, please, a lot less drama and more common sense, timely decisions. Looks like primetime TV and not a serious organization. Yeah, I get sick of the theater, man. I get sick of the theater. I really do. Like, The NFL needed to just make a fucking decision there, suspend them for whatever, make a decision, throw out a number, put in a suspension, and then if the player wants to appeal it, that's on the player. Appeal it, whatever, go through that process and take it from there. But have the fucking balls to make a decision. Like that's what pissed me off with this whole situation. A year and a half later, and you still like negotiated it to 6 games. I feel like the NFL wanted more. And then there was this whole arbitration situation, play 4 games, then go to the arbitrator, just bullshit. So they said, fine, fuck it. The team wanted 4, they wanted 8. Let's settle on 6. That's how I feel it happened. I have no idea for sure, but that's what it feels like. And it kind of just fucking pisses me off. Just get it done early. And we don't need to deal with this shit. And number 2, the other side of this is it was way too lenient, man. Any one of us, me, anyone watching, anyone in the chat, any one of us would be in prison right fucking now if that was us. So way too lenient, in my opinion, on this. You know, misses 6 games and then gets 30 days in prison that he can spend in like 5 years or whatever it is. Pretty ridiculous. Like that is such a slap on the wrist, but whatever. It is what it is. I just drafted him on this team. So whatever. Let's move on. We know what it is. We're done with it. Let's move on. Let's just move on from it. Speaking of needing to make a decision, how about the RB that how about with an RB that doesn't have criminal charges? Who are we talking about? Judkins, I'd imagine. To be fair, NFL's waiting until Rice did that settlement. True. But you're telling me they didn't have anything in place beforehand? They didn't do any investigation beforehand. They just sat there and waited. If they did, then fuck, like that's ridiculous. It's possible that is what happened, but like they should have been ready for this and they should have known there'd be a settlement. Of course, there's going to be a fucking settlement. If not, he's probably going to fucking prison. Like literally, you fled the scene of a crime. God knows what was in that vehicle, right? Like it's, it was always going to be a settlement. Always. There was never going to be a trial, a real trial. If there was, he's probably going to fucking prison, man. So it's, like serious prison time, not missing 6 games. But I digress. Again, it's over. Let's move on. I'm sick of talking about it. I really, really am sick of wasting my breath on fucking Rashee Rice in this whole situation, if I'm being honest. Let's draft JJ McCarthy. We didn't draft Addison and Hawkinson to not. So let's take JJ McCarthy here, pair him up with Bo Nix. I feel like I'm going to need a third, which is okay. So I can be 3-5-8-2, which is kind of weird, but also kind of fun. If he's there, I'll take him. Let's do Scattaboo. Makes sense. Pair him up with our Minnesota late season thing. Bring in our 4th. Ayuk could be the correct click here, but I just don't want to be picking wide receivers in this range at all. I clicked him 3 times. We're really going to have to put the pedal down at wide receiver shortly. 2-4-3-2. This is odd. This is an odd one. This is definitely an odd one. Kind of feels like the NFL enticed the plea. Feels like a lot of things. Doesn't sound like Joe Mixon is going to play at all this year. Not clicking him at any price now. The GM update was very bearish. Or I don't even need to search him. You'll see him there, 0%. I auto-drafted Joe Mixon in 2 tournaments. 2 teams, 2 tournaments. I have them once in a puppy, so $5, and once in a Chihuahua for $4. Is it Chihuahua? Whatever the $4 one was. So I have $9 worth of Joe Mixon via auto clicks or auto picks, I should say. So those 2 teams are dead. But I was never drafting Joe Mixon. In the 257, big board drafts I did, I have 0% Joe Mixon. Was never drafting Joe Mixon. And no one should, especially after the news now. definitely not. I feel like I'm going to need a third classic line after selecting JJ McCarthy. Yeah, I think everyone who's ever clicked JJ McCarthy has said, I feel like I'm going to need a third. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like I need a third. Me leaving the bar at 2 a.m. No doubt. No doubt. OTS, deep breath. Love your stream and learned a lot from you this year. Thanks, my brother. All good, man. I'm relaxed. I'm over it. We're moving on. We're not talking about it anymore. We're good. As a KC fan, I didn't sweat the Rice situation. He was going to be suspended. Didn't care when it was. Stop drafting him. Suspension is out. Start drafting him. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. Literally, again, drafted him on this team. So now that we know it's settled, it's done, it's over with, now we can assess what his true value is. So I think it's probably right where I took him, right around there, right around pick 50. You know, I don't think he gets into the 4th round. That's for sure. I think he's a 5th round pick. I tried to squeeze in Waddle ahead of him, but that's all right. It worked out obviously with taking Bo Nix. So it kind of worked out regardless. But now I'm just going to have to get there with my wide receiver room the way it's looking. Wow, Kyle Williams and Pop Douglas go. It's going to have to be Palmer. Never mind. Fuck. This is slim pickings. Slim pickings. We're going to do Trey Benson over Ray Davis because I have too much Ray Davis. I may lean in on this quarterback room and just say it is what it is. Either one of these guys. Let's go Dobbs. I'm trying to get a little more Dobbs right now. Sounds like Aaron Rodgers called the Packers about Romeo Dobbs to get him over there. That would be weird. That would be interesting. That would really suck for this team for the most part, but let's get Dobbs in here. It is a bring back against our Denver as if he stays on the Packers. So let's get him in there over Tillman. It's close, but I do want to get my exposure of Dobbs up a little bit. Even if he goes to the Steelers, I think we're fine there. So you're saying we need to spam the chat so you auto draft Joe Mixon, officially put the death kneel on this team. There's no way I'm auto drafting Joe Mixon. I'll put someone in the queue. I'll put anyone in the queue. One of those auto drafts, I was away for 2 weekends, and they were actually, I think they were both in slow drafts. No, one was fast. One was fast, and one was a slow draft that I autoed. I think it was this past weekend. I was on a golf trip with my buddies and probably on the golf course and didn't get around to my pick. So in a puppy, and there you go, Joe Mixon. So, and one was a fast draft auto, but I'm not in Best Ball Mania. There's no way I'm auto drafting Joe Mixon in Best Ball Mania. There's no way. No way, no how. I won't have a share of him in Best Ball Mania. I was really hoping to get one of these two New England Patriot wide receivers. Maybe Butte makes sense on this team. I mean, I might just lean in on these 2 quarterbacks and take 9 wide receivers here. That might be more prudent. That might be more prudent here. I don't know. I don't know. If I do take another, it's only going to be, a single stacked quarterback, which is fine. It's completely fine. I might just lean in on this. Friends don't persuade friends to draft Joe Mixon. No, they do not. I've been telling you since 98 not to draft Joe Mixon, so I'm your friend. You definitely need wide receivers at this point. I'm thinking I might lean in on it. Like, it's pretty bad. And I might just have to say that Bo Nix and McCarthy can be good enough to get me there. I kind of do feel like I have to do that. I kind of do. Yeah, it might be tough, but it's 8 already. I don't know, man. Yeah, okay. If Cam Ward was there, I probably would have clicked Cam Ward and then brought in Iomanor later. Let's get Xavier Leggett in here. Now I am going to do 9 wide receivers and just say, fuck it. I'm just going to piss. I'm just going to piss for the rest of this draft. Let's do Xavier Leggett. I haven't drafted Torrey Horton yet. Let's pull up Troy Franklin because it really doesn't. ADP doesn't mean shit. And I do like Troy Franklin over Pat Bryant. It's not by a ton, but I just want to guarantee I get Franklin. So double stack Minnesota, double stack Denver. That feels pretty good. Joe Mixon finally goes 172. Dead. Team's dead. And yeah, I got to throw 9 at this. That's fine. We're just going to piss yellow for the rest of this draft. Got to do what you got to do. Get guys who catch bombs. That's it. Spike week guy. I like Troy Franklin, college teammate of Bo Nix. I think it makes sense. I've got to be able to, advance Rashee Rice and Jordan Addison. That's the goal. Trying to advance 2 suspended players, not easy. But if I can throw 9 at it, I think the tight end room is pretty good. The running back room is very good. Quarterbacks are a little sus. And the wide receiver room is pretty sus, but volume can hopefully get me there. Yeah, like CeeDee Lamb really helps, but other than that, it's pretty bad, if we're being honest, but it can maybe get us there. We'll see. I guess this makes us friends. You convinced me long ago. No Mixon. Thank you, OTS. There you go. We had one. We got one to listen. No Joe Mixon. No Joe. Forspot was talking to his friends who inadvertently persuaded him to auto draft Joe Mixon. Wah, wah. Same guy who took Ward. That's right. And took Tillman and took Douglas. All guys I wanted. That's okay. He's got a weird one. He's just clicking buttons out here, I think. All right. Iomanor was on the menu, but he's gone, obviously. Oh, man, where did Tesla go? He was definitely a guy I wanted. Wow, 162. Okay, fair enough. I would have taken him at 167. 10 picks ahead of ADP, but not at 146. So that's all right. So I don't get my Detroit bring back for Minnesota. That's fine. Let's bring in Malik Washington. It's my first Malik Washington share. Who else can get me points? I feel like Yoshi Voss can get me points. Who scores more points, Diami Brown or Andre Yoshivas? Or Slayton? But I don't necessarily want Slayton with Cam Scattaboo. So, or Adonai Mitchell. I think it's Yoshivas, but does correlation matter here? I think it kind of does. Pairs with Benson and then Malik Washington here and here. Let's take Yoshivas. I think that's the highest floor play down here. So that's kind of what I'm going to lean into. I need points. I need points, and I need points early in the season. So let's do Yoshivas. And then there's a bunch of clicks down here for the last wide receiver. So we'll see what we can get. Quick episode so far. You guys want to do another one? Let's rip another Best Ball Mania. That's what I wanted to do. Get through one quick and then rip another one. I do have to max this tournament, so only way you're going to do that is by drafting, right? Did anyone get their gift from last year? I didn't get shit yet. Mind you, they got to ship internationally for me. How many BVMs do you have left? This is 125. I have 25 left. So the next one will be 126, 24 left. Down the home stretch, we're what, 87% full, something like that for the tournament. 87 something percent full for the tournament. Does it say here? Does not say. We'll check in a second. Oh no, yeah, 86.7. So I just want to get it kind of done and over with, if I'm being honest. Like, I just want to get them done because I have a lot of other stuff to do, including a few more pointers, as many sprints as I kind of can. And that should be it. That should be it. There wasn't very many poodles this year. The poodle was my favorite. I've been in a finals in the poodle the last 2 years in a row. I've been in a final in a poodle. One of it was 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. But I think there's only one poodle this year, I believe, which sucks. That was kind of my favorite tournament. Didn't even get it. I didn't even get a thanks for playing. Are you in this draft? What do you mean? What are you talking about, Boogie? What are you talking about? The last 2 years, BBM filled on the last Saturday before the start of season. All these contests have really slowed my anticipated fill rate, so I've been a little ahead of schedule all year. I was right on pace. I was right at fill rate for the longest time, and then when all the kind of casuals came in, it just got kind of wild and kind of got away from me. So, and I'm behind, but I am catching up, and I will get filled. That's not a concern. So, let's do Parker Washington for the Denver bringback. I think that makes a lot of sense. I just like Parker Washington a lot. It's either Raymond McLeod or Parker Washington or Trey Tucker, Besh maybe. But let's do Parker Washington for the correlation. And I really like him. And in a 9 wide receiver build, I think there's always room for Parker Washington personally. I think this works. I think this team can play. I think it can work. It's going to take a lot of push from these 3 running backs to get me there. And these wide receivers are going to have to ping pong. Maybe like if I can get both my tight ends to score 15 points in the same week within the first 3 weeks of the season, that would be huge. Get one of them in the flex maybe, which is pretty unlikely with these running backs, but you never know. You never know. Or 2 like 18 points, two touchdown games from each of them, one from each of them sort of thing. You never know. I just hope there's enough firepower here to push me through to week 4, essentially. And then in week 7, I'll be kind of laughing. This will be in good shape after week 7, but am I going to be too far behind? These quarterbacks will go a long way to helping me. We'll see. Let's jump back out. We're going to get into another one in 2 seconds here. Let's take a look what the fill rate's at. 86.8. So we're 20-second clock. Let's jump into a BBM right now. We're in, waiting on 6. If you want to draft with me. From last year, finished 11th. I wanted my cactus. No doubt, man. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, didn't get anything from maxing last year. You didn't get anything? I got, well, no, that's what's coming in the mail. I maxed last year, and they like you're at least getting a t-shirt, which is like sweet, man. $3,700 for a fucking t-shirt, which is a lot more for me being Canadian. But yeah, especially finishing like maybe they pay out top 10, Boogie. That's probably what it is. Like maybe you get something if you're top 10. Do better next time. Just kidding you, Bell. Obviously, I'm just kidding you. That was huge. That was a huge finish. 11th is wild. That's a wildly awesome finish, man. Well done. That's what I said. Yeah, no doubt, man. It's kind of bullshit. Kind of bullshit. All right. I don't know. Is anybody in the chat in here with me? Let me know if you are. I don't know any of these names. A lot of badgeless again. Is anybody in the chat not maxed? Or is everybody maxed out on Best Ball Mania? Whoops. Are we all maxed out, or you guys got drafts left? Got to do better. What do you got to do to get respect around here, eh? Fucking bullshit. Stars has 15 remaining. Almost there. I'll have 24 after this. So it's either CeeDee Lamb or Gibbs. One of those two. Or Bijan, I guess, if he's still there. 4, I'll take him. There we go. So one of these two, I would actually prefer Gibbs. I actually would prefer Gibbs. And I probably would even take Gibbs here over CD. Okay, we get Gibbs. That feels good. That's what I want. I wanted a little more exposure to Gibbs. And then we're going to check our combos. Because it really only matters. For me, it only really matters my combos for the first like 4 picks. I do want to get some uniqueness in my first 4 picks. And then it's just take the best structure, take the best player, take your stacks, bringbacks, whatever, like set stuff up, take quarterbacks early, do what you got to do, whatever. Like all the other stuff kind of figures itself out. I do want to focus on having some uniqueness and just not be building the same team over and over within the first, 4 rounds. So that's really why the only reason I really care about this in the first few rounds. It's not for the whole draft for me anyways. Been rolling lately. 10 left for me. Putt Daddy's almost done. Good on you. There you go. Living in auto fun, no underdog state. So picking slows and following along with you. Damn, man. That's got to suck. That's got to suck, man. What state do you live in? That's brutal. That's brutal. It's legal everywhere in Canada except for Ontario. I believe. Yeah. Except for Ontario, which you wouldn't catch me dead living in Ontario regardless. But, especially with how much of an underdog sicko I am. But yeah, don't have to worry about that. Everything's legal here in the Wild West. Because I see like some streamers, like where it says pick 'em here, it says champions or championship or champions or something like that. And I had to look up what the hell it was. And it's like a different form of pick'ems or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. Free healthcare and underdog is allowed. Win-win. I mean, I always say it on here. People ask about it. We talk about the free healthcare. in Canada, like, yeah, it might be free, but you get what you pay for, is what I always say. So the healthcare system in Canada is a fucking absolute sham. So there you go. Take that for what it's worth. It's an absolute shell of itself. It's a sham. But sort of free, I guess. I mean, we pay for it, but it is here too. Yeah, I mean, if you have money in the States, if you're like a millionaire in the States, the world is a lot easier to navigate, especially the healthcare system. But that's definitely not me. So, I'm assuming it's not you either. But yeah, if you got money in the States, no problem. In Canada, if you have extreme patience and you can, not die before you get whatever surgery you're supposed to get or whatever, then there you go. That's a bonus. Either way. I don't really like Ladd McConkey. Fuck. I really would have liked Chase Brown right there. I guess I should just take Ladd and get a little bit unique here. I don't have this pairing. Let's take Ladd. Let's take a Ladd share. I'm still going to be under the field. I'll still be like 7% Ladd. So I'll be a little under the field. That's okay. Let's take a Ladd share. Don't have Gibbs, McConkey. It's probably T or Josh Allen for sure. I don't have them with McConkey, and only a couple clicks with Gibbs. I'm going to take Josh Allen. No, I'm going to take T. Let's take T Higgins. Let's take T Higgins and see how this works out. Did you see that the Jags traded to get Tim Patrick from the Lions? I sure did. Not too much gets past me in my old age, but once in a while I'll miss something. But no, I definitely saw that. I think that affects Dyami Brown. I don't think that affects Parker Washington. Parker Washington is going to kind of split the slot with Travis Hunter, in my opinion. I'm not really worried about Tim Patrick, regardless of anything, if I'm being honest. Like, I think people, if people like Dyami Brown, you should still probably like him the same. What's my exposure to Dyami Brown? Like, Tim Patrick's just like, he's a little old, and I'm not going to say dusted, but he's definitely old. He's got more real life value than fantasy value. 8.9%, so about 8% after these couple drafts, 8% Dyami Brown, which is where I want to be. I was getting a little too high exposure-wise for my liking. So I've mixed in the Parker Washington, which I want to be even on both of those guys, which is kind of where I'm at. I'm not drafting Tim Patrick at all. That does bump up to Slaw for me, who I have been kind of clicking all the way up, 10%, 9.7%. So almost 10% to Slaw. I started taking him in the 18th, 17th, 16th. Now he's moving up to basically the 15th, which is fine. I'll take him there too. I don't give a shit. Like, even if I had missed the boat, I would just start clicking him in the 15th. It's whatever, beyond the 14th round, do whatever the hell you want. So, it's kind of fine there. So yeah, Tesla, I think, is an absolute smash right now. I've always liked Jameson Williams throughout the entire season, draft season, everything. I've liked Jameson Williams. And Amon-Ra is still just Amon-Ra, same, steady Eddie, back into the first round kind of guy. So I don't think it changes much for really anyone, except for it does for honestly, the trade changes more for the Detroit Lions side than it does for the Jacksonville Jags side, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Let's see if we can get a little bit of uniqueness here with this last pick in the 4th. Any one of these wide receivers would be good. off the top. And then probably Trevion, who I'm getting down like almost 14%, 13 after these drafts, probably 13.5% roughly, which it was up to like, it was like in the 16, 17, 18% range, but his price has gotten a lot more aggressive. So it's tougher to click him, you know, here. So it'll be one of these three, no question. I probably will take these wide receivers first. Wow, Trevion Henderson goes before Pickens. I'll take Pickens. Do I have Pickens with Higgins? I don't. Cool. That feels good. Let's take George Pickens, obviously. That's a smash out of value there. Even 3 picks of ADP value for Pickens feels like a lot more to me. It feels like a massive discount, if I'm being honest. Let's take Waddle since we missed on him last draft. Let's take Waddle here. Or do I want to pull up like Ricky Pearsall or Igbuka? I think I want to pull up Ricky Pearsall. Let's do that. I just think Ricky's an absolute smash right now. I'd like to get that percentage up. What am I at? 14.5. Nice. That feels good. Igbuka is another guy down to, you know, again, almost 14%. Igbuka and Henderson, I was at about 16, 18, roughly between 16 and 18% on both of those guys. And then as their ADPs kind of exploded up the board, it was tougher to get my hands on those guys, tougher to click them. So they kind of both fell together. So, yeah. Whoops. But that's okay. Agreed. Healthcare is beyond screwed up here. 50% of people where I'm from do not have a doctor. OTOS knows of what I say. Yeah. I mean, I just got a new doctor. Walking clinics, that's an experience. Yeah, absolutely. I just got a brand new doctor. He started his own practice recently. So he's been good so far. You got to get lucky. Like, really, you got to get lucky with a good doctor. They honestly just don't really give a shit, if I'm being honest. Like, any good doctor leaves this country, as I would too if I was a doctor. They go down to the wonderful United States of America and start a private practice, which is what I would do as well, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But either way. So yeah, our free healthcare for a whole bunch of unqualified, you know, just order takers, essentially. But we don't need to talk about that. That's all we're here for. We're here to talk about best ball, drafting, that sort of thing. We're not here to talk about the Canadian healthcare system. No one in this draft room to talk about, so that's fun. And nothing really crazy going on here. There's nothing really crazy going on. Double stacked Jaden with Igbuka. That's got to feel good. Thomas Genty. I like this team. This is a fun build. Adunze would have been on my board, but pretty unlikely he falls to me at 69. My most drafted wide receiver in Best Ball Mania. Pair him up with Pearsall, but that's okay. I'm happy to just take Pearsall, obviously, and not worry about the like the game stack there. Basically, I had to get through there to get Joe Burrow, and I will be taking Joe Burrow with Higgins for sure. That was the reason I was thinking about Waddle here as a bring back to the Cincinnati, but I just think Pearsall's such a smash right now. I really, really, really like Pearsall right now. So I'm trying to load up, but we'll go Joe Burrow here. That's an easy click right there for me. 10% Addison feels pretty good. Don't need to really worry too much about that. If Pacheco's there, I will auto insta-click there. Man, do I take Addison again? Or do I pull somebody up? Just hero RB with Gibbs. I can probably stop at 2 quarterbacks. It feels good. Wow, Coleman gets pulled up. I like Coleman a lot, but I'm not taking him quite that high. I mean, who else do you click in this range? It is such a weird range that, like, who else are you going to click? Do I just take Addison again? I'm leery about the Jennings situation here. Pretty leery, but I am going to just gamble on it. I'm going to gamble on Jennings with Pearsall. Yeah. We're going to gamble on that. I'm not sure what to make of this whole Jennings situation. Is Linus from LTT cool? Seems like a cool guy. I don't know what that means, man. Is that some sort of inside joke that I don't know about? I'm on the outside of? I'm not sure what that means, Boogie. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what to make about this Juwan Jennings situation. I'll say that. I'm not sure what to make about it. I mean, I don't think he should be trying to get a raise again. I think that's a little like aggressive to ask for a raise 2 seasons in a row. And try to get it 2 seasons in a row. Like there's some guys like Trey Hendrickson, right? Asked for a raise 2 seasons in a row, didn't get it the first year. He's finally got it now. That makes sense. Jennings asked for a raise last year, got a raise, played well, sitting out asking for another raise. Like, I get the apprehension from the team. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. And I'm not sure if this injury is legit or not. I really don't know. Is it like this could be like this could legitimately be a Christian McCaffrey type of thing? Like he could have like a fucking torn Achilles or some shit, you know? Like that could be what it is. They don't have to say anything. They don't have to say anything until next week. Basically until next Wednesday. They don't have to say a goddamn thing. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to send a message. I don't know if he actually has an injury. I don't really know what to make of this Jennings situation. He's my wide receiver 5, so it's not the end of the world regardless. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And I took a risk on him, obviously. It was either Addison or Jennings. And there's risk on Addison as well. If Jennings misses the first 3 weeks, same as Addison, right? So let's take that for what it's worth. I'm going to actually just take let's take Purdy first. Let's go Brock Purdy first. Obviously, with our double San Francisco, it's more important to get Purdy here. And then obviously I'm trying to take Colston Loveland. But the concern would be for Colston Loveland is someone double taps on this end, which is what happened in the last draft that we just did. Someone double taps Chicago and takes Caleb Williams and Colston Loveland. That's obviously off the table, so I should be okay. And there's 3 tight ends between myself and Colston Loveland, so I should be fine. And that's kind of why I did this Pearsall Jennings situation, so I could get this double stack wide receiver San Francisco with the tight end bring back. I like that. That's really fun for week 17, because I'm not going to get anything for the Cincinnati side with Arizona. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, I kind of like that. I think that's really fun. I think that's really fun. So we'll see how this keeps going, but I got to get some running backs on this team. He's from Canada. Linus Tech Tips, huge on YouTube. Don't know who that is, but probably a cool guy. I don't know. Is the puppy 4 going to fill? Probably. I'd imagine it will. Like, they kind of got a little bit greedy, it seems like, at the end there. With a puppy. Like, that's an aggressive tournament. Maybe like some poodles, like the Rottweiler, that's good. The pointer, this pointer tournament's fun. That's cool. That'll fill. I don't know. The puppy might be a little aggressive. I'm not doing any puppy 4s. I'm just not. I don't have the time for it. And I'm not putting myself in slow draft hell like that. It's just not going to happen. So we'll see. Jennings a smash fake injury. I don't know. Like, again, this could be like this. Do you not get Christian McCaffrey vibes from last year? That's the vibes I'm getting, man. It's weird. And they don't have to say anything. The team doesn't have to say anything. He could have been, his leg amputated to the knee, man. And they wouldn't have to say anything. So it's pretty weird. It's got some Christian McCaffrey vibes to me, but we'll see. It could be T. Higgins. Pretty much, if he's healthy. I just don't like the message that they sent last year with this whole Christian McCaffrey thing. And then he sat out for the first 10 weeks or whatever it was, and then got hurt after that. So I don't know. It's the franchise has already planted that seed of doubt in my head, but I obviously am taking a little bit of a risk and selected him here, but it doesn't feel amazing and it is sketchy, but it is what I wanted to do. When I took Pearsall here, it's like, okay, I'm going to take, maybe not Jennings, not necessarily Jennings, but when I took Jennings, it's like, okay, I'm going to do Purdy, Loveland, Purdy, whatever. And then stack up that game. Like, that's just going to be what happens. So anyways. Geez, falling behind badly at running back. And I actually think it's Bateman here. I think it's Bateman here. Pairs up with my Cincinnati. Wide receiver room's in good shape. I'm done at quarterback, so that feels really good. Obviously done there. It's on the table to stop at 2 tight ends, but probably going to be 3. So 2, 6, 7, 3, most likely. I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that with seven wide receivers with that wide receiver room. I don't think it's very strong. I really don't think it's very strong to do that. It'll be Scadaboo or Njoku, and Scadaboo's still there, so I'm going to take Scadaboo, I guess. I don't love it. What does that say? Dressed for Thursday's game. Is suited up ahead of Thursday's preseason game against the Patriots. He didn't play, though. He didn't play, though, to my recollection. So at least he's up. He's back at practice. Okay, let's get our Scadaboo up a little bit. Little discount. I need running backs. I do like Scadaboo. Just took him in the last draft as well, but more for correlation reasons. This is an oddball team. Like, it's tough. I took Ladd at 21st overall, T. Higgins at 28th overall, and I'm like, I don't think I can stop at 7 wide receivers. That's kind of how this feels. It's really weird. I kind of have to stop it at 7. And then there's also like the Jennings situation. I've got a whole bunch of wide receiver 2s essentially. McConkey's wide receiver 1 on the team, and so is Pearsall, but it feels like I have a bunch of wide receiver 2s and I'm just banking on them. That's a pretty tough sell. That's a tough sell, if I'm being honest. Quarterback room's in a good spot. Running back room's going to be a little bit soft. It's a weird team. Another weird one. Green Beans in the house. What's up, man? Appreciate you. The way the backs are pushed up, it really forces you to prioritize now. Wild how it changed. It always changes as we get into the end of the season, the draft season. As casuals come in, running backs get pushed up. Happens every single year. So every year it happens. No, we'll be done after this, Jeff. I don't want to push anything too long. Like, still have this leg situation going on. I just want to get in a couple drafts, get her done, and then we'll get out of here. So we'll just be ripping these 2, and then we're going to get out of here. But we'll be back tomorrow, not on this channel, but on Sean Mitchell's channel, Extend the Drive. We'll talk about that in a minute here once we kind of sign off. Let's go Eckler. I think that is, I have to do that, basically. Really helps me catch up at my running back, in my running back room. Let's do Eckler there. Let's do Eckler there. Samson was on the table. Ay. Samson was on the table. This is an odd range. Let's do Jaden Blue. No, let's not do Jaden Blue. Let's just do what I kind of want to do. Let's get Okonkwo for that bring back again with the double San Francisco wide receivers. So weeks 15 and 17, I've got the tight end bring back for my San Francisco double wide receiver stack. Feels pretty good. I'm worried that he won't be there at 165 is my concern. So let's just pull him up and kind of guarantee that. I don't want Jaden Blue with George Pickens. I don't think it's necessary at all. And I don't think this is like a Jaden Blue type of a team, if I'm being honest. That's just how I feel about it. I don't think it's that. It's a Jaden Blue type of team. I don't. So definitely need one more tight end. It's looking like a 2-6-7-3. 2-6-7-3. Again, this wide receiver room feels weird to only have 7, but we're going to have to lean in on it. You drafted these 2 wide receivers inside the first 30 picks. You have to lean in on it. You have to lean in on that. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So what do we need? 3 more running backs, 1 more wide receiver, 1 more tight end. This is a decent running back range. Ertz, I don't like here. I kind of wanted to avoid bye week 14. it would only leave me with 4 wide receivers. Mind you, it is my top 3. So if Kyle Williams is there, I gotta take the value and just click them. Najee with McConkey. I really don't want to take 2 players from the Chargers offense when it's an unstacked situation. I just don't think that's a potent enough offense to buy in on that. Algier was definitely on the menu. I gotta take Kyle Williams. It is what it is. 15 picks past ADP. Let's get Kyle Williams. We're done at wide receiver. It's my top three wide receivers, so hopefully they can all crack the. Obviously, they're going to have to crack the lineup in week 14. Bateman's there. I only really have to fill three wide receiver spots. So let's hope that that's how it goes. I guess it's just Rico Dowdle, or do I take Jerome Ford? Let's take Jerome Ford here. Feels good. They did bring in Raheem Rocket Sanders, but it would still be Jerome Ford and Dylan Sampson, at least until Quinshon Judkins, whatever happens there, whatever gets figured out there, whenever it does, if it does, whatever. Dude still hasn't signed a contract, which is pretty wild. But Jerome Ford, I think, will have a role for the rest of the season. Have you seen Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders play football? Every team is a Jaden Blue team. Fair enough. I mean, that's a fair point, but that's a fair point. I just think Javonte Williams is going to force himself onto the field a lot. If Jaden Blue's just not on the field that much, he's going to have limited opportunity. I like Blue. I'm clicking Jaden Blue, and I'm not particularly clicking Javonte Williams, and I'm absolutely not clicking 0% Miles Sanders. But, yeah, I just don't think this team made sense to take Jaden Blue. Like, take the vets, Eckler, Ford, take the vets. I've already got Scadaboo. I can get some other young rookies, whatever, in the last few picks here. So I don't think it made sense to take Jaden Blue on this team. I really don't. And then, Kyle Williams gets back to me. That feels good. So if I took Blue here, I would still take Okonkwo over Kyle Williams. But Jaden Blue and Okonkwo, give me Okonkwo and Kyle Williams, if we're talking about a combination. Without looking at Javonte Williams' week 1 rushing line, I don't know. It's probably super weak. I'm just talking about his pass blocking. He's the best pass blocker on the team for sure. So he's going to keep himself on the field. Team's dead. Could be. I'm not going to, push back very hard on that. This team could be dead. It could definitely be, digging its own grave. For sure. Oh, I'm up. Jeez, I'm on the clock. Let's take Woody Marks. There's another rookie that I wanted. I didn't know if he'd get back to me, so that works. Let's take Woody Marks. That feels pretty good. And then it's Mason Taylor, Jatavian Sanders. Mike Gesicki's there. I don't really even want to click him. Harold Fannin, but I have Ford. That doesn't really matter. I could still take Fannin. But I should probably just take Gesicki or Sanders. I kind of like Sanders here. I really like Sanders here. I'd prefer him. And then just a running back to finish out the room. Yeah, team could be dead. Is it Kendry Miller? This is a Kendry Miller-ass team if I've ever seen one. I'm not clicking Kendry Miller. I'm just not. The dude can't stay healthy, and he was on the worst team in the NFL. And he's a number 2 on the worst team in the NFL. I'm just not taking Kendry Miller. I'm not. Like, if Kendry Miller is what you need to win, then I guess I'm not going to win. I don't know. Like, he's free, and like, if you like him, click him. Absolutely. And there he goes. This guy took him. If you like, I'm not saying don't take Kendry Miller. I'm just saying I'm not taking Kendry Miller. Like, say, similar to Roschon Johnson, like, I have a hard time taking guys that have been in the league, have gotten opportunities, and have done absolutely nothing. Especially Kendry Miller, who can't stay healthy. So, give me a rookie. I'll take a rookie over a guy like Kendry Miller. I could be wrong on that, obviously, but he's just never been not hurt. And he hasn't really done much with his limited opportunities. Yes, limited, but he has had opportunities. And he just has done nothing, essentially. So, Brashard Smith was back on the menu for me, and that probably would have been my click, but that's okay. Who else is there? Actually? We should take a look here because it's thin. It is slim pickings down here in the running back arena. It's pretty slim pickings. I'd like to avoid no bye weeks, take whatever I want. So that's good. Emmanuel Wilson. Again, I think he's an okay click, but it sounds like Chris Brooks is the number 2. Hard to say. I'm not exactly trying to guess on that one. Marshawn Lloyd's still here, and I'm not drafting Marshawn Lloyd. That's for sure. Is he even still here? Is he still on the board? Am I not seeing him? Or did someone draft him? There he is. My 8% Marshawn Lloyd. Yikes. Nice. It's Blake Corum is who I want. And this guy took Jarquez Hunter over Blake Corum. I'm trying to even out my Corum and Jarquez exposure. Corum had a really good preseason, and I really don't like Corum. I really don't. Never have. Probably never will. Unless he wins me $2 million. But it looks like he's the number 2 on this team, and he could get some opportunity. So give me Blake Corum, and we'll wrap this team up. 2-6-7-3. Feels weak in some spots. We got Joe Burrow and Purdy. That's very strong. Very happy with that. Gibbs, Scadaboo, Eckler, Jerome Ford, Woody Marks, Blake Corum. I actually like that. I think it's strong enough. I think it can definitely work. I think he can get me there as long as Eckler stays healthy, essentially, and Ford to a degree. I think it can work. It's light, but I think it can work. McConkey, Higgins, Pickens, Pearsall, Jennings, Bateman, Kyle Williams. Again, that feels pretty weak. Feels pretty soft. I guess if you don't exactly like your team, then it's good, is what people say. I don't know. I'm having a hard time loving this team, if I'm being honest. But where you take these guys, you have to buy into it. Like Ladd 21st and T Higgins 28th, they really don't feel good to me. They really don't, unless you can take an 8 wide receiver room. So this feels soft, but it shouldn't. 5 wide receivers inside the first 75, 76 picks, right? This should feel strong, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Loveland, Okonkwo, and JT Sanders. This is strong. I like my tight end room. I like my quarterback room. I like my running back room, oddly, more than my wide receiver room. which shouldn't make sense. But that's kind of how I feel about it. This is a weird one. It's a weird one. So we'll see how that one goes. Emmanuel Wilson is back up less than 5% drafted. Yeah, I mean, if you like him, draft him. I think he's a fine click. I'm really more just trying to click Josh Jacobs more these days. He's a fine click, 500 yards and like 4 touchdowns, I think, last year for Emmanuel Wilson. He had a good season. And if he is the number 2, then that's a good spot to be in. So, yeah, not exactly for me. Fantasy Football Garage was actually one of the earlier people to be talking about Emmanuel Wilson. We were having a conversation about him. He definitely can do it. He's done it at the NFL level. So, that has to be worth something. But if Chris Brooks is the guy getting the run with the 2s, I don't know. It looks like they're splitting. And then there's the old Marshawn Lloyd curveball that can get thrown in there, after he comes off the injury list. But, I mean, I'm not drafting Marshawn Lloyd ever again. And you just, again, another guy who just can't stay healthy. I just won't be drafting him unless he comes back from this injury, doesn't get hurt the rest of the season, plays really well, does really well, looks really good. Then, sure, sign me up next year. But if it's a similar story that we got last year when he was a rookie, and already so far in the preseason that we're seeing right now with Marshawn Lloyd, he's pretty much going to be dead to me. So we'll see how that works out. But we're going to get out of here for the night. 3 straight days, which is good on the Off the Schneid channel. I'm happy to be back, trying to get in as many streams as I can. Missing a couple weeks, and then the NFL season starts in a week tomorrow. So we're not back tomorrow on this channel, but I'll be a guest on with Sean Mitchell on Extend the Drive tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern time is when that show will start. So check me out over there. And then definitely not on Friday either. I have my own home league draft, my league that I run. So I'm super excited about that on Friday night, and then probably either Saturday or Sunday. We'll try to get, like I said, as many streams as we can. But that's it for tonight. Like I always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we're right. We bink Best Ball Mania. We win $2 million, and we come back and watch this show and laugh about how it all worked out. But you guys have yourself a great night. Stop by Sean's channel